Kenya, East Africa, a wildlife haven. One woman has grown up living with the elephants in the Kenyan wilderness. Her name is Saba. Her father, Saba Douglas-Hamilton, is one of the world's top elephant scientists, so Saba had a fairy tale and unique upbringing. From the moment she was born, elephants were her playmates, whilst her father studied close by. In fact, elephants were part of the family. Saba now works in elephant conservation and dares to get really close to elephants. She knows, though, that one false move could kill her. Saba's favourite study area is the Samburu Reserve. It's close to a tribal war zone, but this doesn't put her off. She and her father set up a research camp here 4 years ago. They can now identify over 700 elephants, and every one of them has a name.
You need to get more pods.
I think you're coming a little bit too close to my car now.
And every one of the elephants she knows has a story.
This young female is called Babel, and she's a 12-year-old girl in the biblical town group. And she's had this very bad handicap. She had a broken leg since she was a small calf. We're not quite sure why it happened. She could have either broken it or it could have been a bullet or something. But she's amazing because she's managed to keep up with her family through all these years. And she uses her front legs as crutches. And although she sometimes lags quite far behind them, she's survived through all sorts of problems. This part of Kenya is very special to me because it's right in the heart of the Samburu tribal lands. Through the work that we do up here, I've become great friends with some of the Samburu people. The Samburu people have an extraordinary relationship with wildlife, especially elephants. They believe that when the world began, God created man and elephants as brothers. And because elephants are great, powerful spirits and are so like humans, they deserve the utmost respect. Elephants are seen to be very similar to the Samburu people. Like the great elephant matriarchs with their calves, Samburu women look after the home and children. Elephant bulls are like Samburu warriors. They must leave the safety of their family at puberty and prove their manhood by living alone in the wilderness. It was through my friends that I learnt that the Samburu relationship with elephants used to be a lot closer, until, as legend goes, an elephant had a terrible fight with a Samburu woman. I've been told the story goes something like this. Once upon a time, God created man and elephants as brothers side by side. The elephant used to help the woman with her daily chores, and one day she asked him to go and collect some firewood for her to cook with. So off he went into the bush in search of fallen branches. It was very hot, but after a while he came back proudly dragging a huge log. When the woman saw him, she started shouting at him rudely. "You stupid elephant! What am I supposed to cook with that log, you fool? Get out of here!" The elephant was terribly upset, and in anger he attacked the woman's kitchen. As he ran off, he grabbed a calf skin that was lying in the sun and threw it on his head. In time, the skin became his great flapping ears, and since that day the elephant has lived deep in the bush away from humans. And when he gets angry, his ears flap just like they did all those years ago. I've always wondered how deeply the Samburu believe in the myth about the woman and the elephant. Whether it's just a fairy tale that they tell their children, or something that's deeply ingrained in everyday life. And recently, a few months ago, at a community meeting right up in the north of the country, a woman stood up and said that she thought it was high time that Samburu women made an official apology to the elephant for the original rudeness. With my passion for elephants, this story fascinated me. I had to follow it up. I wanted to know if my friends had heard about the woman in this story and if they knew where she was. First of all, I need to get permission from the chief and the elders, who I've dealt with in the past. As usual, they're initially amused by me and my strange request, but after a while they begin to get interested in the story. Alikuwa mama mmoja huko anasema sasa nataka kusema sorry kwa ndofu kwa sababu ya So they've also heard about the story and they think it's quite funny and they have no idea how to apologize to the elephant. So they've told me that I should go and get her, and because it's a very long road and I'm going to be on my own, they've suggested that I take 2 of the warriors from this village to go with me, and then when we come back we'll have a big meeting and we'll try and figure out how to do this. They said it's a woman's job because the woman was the one who messed it all up in the first place. While the elders chat on, for the young men life's a lot tougher. At puberty, Samburu boys go through a circumcision ritual and become warriors. And they must go and live in the wilderness to prove their manhood. They spend their lives moving in search of grass and water for their cattle. Sometimes this leads to fighting with other nomadic tribes. The main role of the warriors is to protect their families and herds of cattle from raiding tribes. And if necessary, they take revenge. Warriors are considered to be the epitome of beauty and perfection, and I couldn't agree more. We have to go through quite a dangerous area. This is bandit country. This is the captain of the warriors. He's one of the best, he's the best warrior, and he is coming with me. I'm very glad to have him with me. With the warriors on board, not only do I feel safer, but they'll also be able to help me find the woman. Their tracking skills and knowledge of this vast area are amazing and much more useful than a map. In true Samburu style, we aren't allowed to leave without a farewell party. They're the most wonderful dancers, but I can't do this and I'm not going to, but I love watching them. The next morning we set off pretty early. We have to get through the worst of the fighting areas before it gets dark. Hawasipendi, ukikuja karibu hivi nyuma, hawasipendi hata ni mpole sana lakini yasipendi tukikuja hapa nyuma. Sorry girls, sorry. We've stopped because elephants hate being approached from behind, so we're just letting her clear the path like she has now, and then we can drive them by. Umetoka sasa hivi, umetoka mtu. These are the artists. And this female here is called Matisse. Hi, Matisse.
This area is a tribal war zone where the Samburu were attacked recently by Somali bandits, their greatest enemies. The Somalis are also some of the worst poachers in East Africa.
The elephants are hunted by Somalis for ivory, and so they generally, when they're frightened, they run from vehicles. And the Samburu also fight the Somalis, who come and raid them for their cattle. So they like to see contented elephants because it means that they're safe.
By late afternoon, we've passed through the most dangerous areas and start climbing up into the hills where the woman is supposed to be. Kenya is in the grip of its worst drought in 40 years, but it's rained up here and it's such a relief to see green grass. We have to keep going for another 50 miles to reach our camp on the edge of the Great Rift Valley. It's freezing cold, but the view is amazing. By the next morning, news of our arrival and our strange quest has reached everyone. The bush telegraph has worked and we're directed to the village where the woman is staying. Of course, before I can talk to the woman, I must discuss the matter formally with the elders. And they've been waiting for us for hours.
Asante sana kukaribisha sisi hapa wazee. Tunashukuru sana. Na tumetoka mbali karibu ya Samburu kwa sababu tumesikia habari ya mama moja au anatoka upande ya Arsim. Na tumesikia amekuja hapa kwa muda kidogo. Ni kweli?
Ndio, mama anataka amwambie ndovu sore kwa sababu ndovu ilikuwa ya wakina mama na walifukuza kwa sababu ya kuni.
So this is pretty amazing news. She is here, but not here right now because she's gone off to get some wood. And she apparently has been looking for elephants, so but hasn't found any because they're in the forest. So she's probably going to be quite glad to see us. And what's amazing is that women actually often follow elephant paths because the elephants pull branches down and it's much easier for the women to reach. So we've been following this elephant pathway and here are the tracks, and we think she might be around in this direction somewhere.
Luckily she is. We're on the right track.
Don't dance with her. Saba, enter Saba.
Saba.
I'm ready.
Saba.
Saba. Na keno mzuri. Salimia yeye sana ukiona yeye tena.
Aya.
Aya, oisho, ina kwa mzuri. David, ulize kwa sababu alitaka kusema sorry kwa ndogo.
Na dini mbaraka juga nyona biyu ni jogo tome sorry nako na dakitili muna daga na nete nake
Muri ya ba mka madama na ngori. Na biyu na da yenu je sorry. Na kala kwa bango jita normal ge nu gwa yong kare. Dogo bo. Na gu ne to biyu je tome sorry.
It's great to meet Ngokola at last, and we're both excited about the adventure ahead. But before we can go and look for elephants, there are some rituals to attend to. First, the elders bless us, and then we go to get advice from a witch doctor, or Laibon as he's known. A bit nerve-wracking, but he'll advise us on how to apologise to the elephants. Well, this is the first time either of us have been to Laibon before, and it's been quite interesting. We've been cleansed using intestines, cow intestine innards, ash, and these bits of wet skin, and they're for the head, the heart, and then the body. And he's advised us that when we find the elephant, we come with green leaves and green grass as a sign of peace. And now, I think we're going to go and have a wash. Coming back, we pick up a few hitchhikers. Safety in numbers through bandit country. Warriors shouldn't sit with Samburu women, so they ride on the outside. The dust is terrible, hence the camouflage. By now, we're back inside the actual Samburu reserve, and the warriors are keen to return to their cattle. We say goodbye in the middle of nowhere. Ngokola has always lived with wildlife around, but she's quite wary of wild animals and has never been up close to them. I want her to feel comfortable in the reserve before we do the apology, so we spend a day getting to know the animals. Safi, di marita di sana. This is a song that little girls sing. They divide into two groups, and one owns all the domestic animals and one other group owns all the wild animals. So the first group says, we are the people who have cattle, and the second group says, well, we're the people who have buffalo and zebra. And then the others say, well, we get milk from our cattle, and they say, we get milk from the buffalo and we get something else from the zebra. And they do a comparison between which is better. Ngokola's biggest fear is meeting the elephants face to face, so I want to show her how gentle and playful they can be. We sit with one family for hours.
This is the closest she's ever been to elephants.
The next morning, we head back to my friends in the village. I'm excited to see whether they've come up with any plans since we've been away.
Saba mzee? Ini ile mama ya Grunet.
Meti?
Ngokola's arrival creates a bit of a stir, and the women are curious to meet her.
Ini ile mama ya Grunet. They've been asking her questions about how strange her safari has been, being picked up by some weird white woman and driven off into the middle of the bush.
As the chief said, the woman messed it up in the first place, so now the women must find a solution.
We've been discussing this topic all week, so they're trying to figure out now how to do it and which elephants to apologise to. We have a special woman with us who's from the elephant clan, who is going to come and help us with the blessing before we do the ceremony, as the Laibon suggested, bringing grass and milk. And when I asked her if she was frightened about getting out of the car to stand close to the elephants, she said, "I'm not frightened of elephants, they're my brothers."
So off we go with old Mama Lekalaile from the elephant clan and a few other women for moral support. Like Ngokola, they've never been close to elephants, and the first group we find are very nervous. Something's upset these elephants. The women are adamant that this is not the right group to apologise to, which is fine by me, so we keep on searching. They've decided they want to apologise to a family group, because the mothers will pass the message on to their children.
We found a group that women like, and they're very, very calm. They're just resting under these trees, so it's a great spot. The wind's in the right direction. And as soon as we've just sensed their mood a little bit, and they can start doing it. Say again.
Na bolta na tangka jang yo kona atau boy take untuk guys yang tanya kayak kinci tuh intimi
kita jadi aja sore lah sih aja nang bisa gue nyaldo aja aja untuk mana kena naram tak sesuatu kami agak bayang karen ya ke yol ke kami nggak ada bantu mana kita merai tina kita jadi aja sore kuna ada mana kata ada bisa gue nyaldo aja aja apa deh mau tuh boy ada sesuatu.
In the blessing when she said, "Elephants, you are my brothers. Go peacefully into the land which we share with you. God will protect you." And the elephants just stood there and listened, and now they've walked away. And they say, the Samburu, that when you have a fight with somebody, afterwards you should ask for forgiveness. And although you may not be forgiven, it's worth at least trying. Some of the warriors mentioned that maybe the elephant wouldn't understand because it's been separated from human beings for too long and has forgotten how to speak the language. And I don't know whether the elephants have heard them or not. Only time and living with the elephants will tell.